Here you go, boys. Say, you both look like you got a furphy or two to tell.
G'day everyone and welcome to Crackin Furphys, the news commentary podcast where the boys and I crack Furphys over some cold ones. I'm your publican Drew Agnew, and joining me along the bar are my good mates Dan and Tom. Boys, how are we going today? It's nice to see your faces here at the bar, and look, I've been looking forward to this day. It's been nice to catch up with some mates and talk some shit, see if we can guess each other's news stories and see where we go from there. But Dan, start with you. How you been this week, my friend?
Since about 10:30 Friday night, I have been on cloud nine. I've had an excellent weekend. Those not in South Australia or sports fans, we had the showdown, the Adelaide versus Port Adelaide footy match on Friday night, and my team won an absolute nail biter with a kick after the siren.
You're a Port Adelaide fan, aren't you?
All right, I'm out.
Staring right up.
I've never been more offended in my life.
Yeah, like I only caught. I didn't even know the showdown was on. Like I was I'm not really a football watcher, but I do enjoy watching it when I do. But yeah, that was just an unreal sort of finish. Like after the siren, kicking a goal and just getting 4 points up, and just seeing like the crowd and everyone just erupt would have been so good. And you to be there would have been just absolutely unreal.
Oh, just full on hugging strangers in the aisles, just 100% getting COVID probably.
Yeah.
I haven't tested it yet, but I'm sure I'll have to tomorrow.
Did you dump any
fine.
family members onto the pitch after the game was done?
Yeah.
I mean, just full on just tongue kissing everyone was just a weird bit, maybe a little bit too far, but you know what? Worth it.
No, well, it's never a bit too far. It's never too far. But it's like, with Ash's story a week or so ago when someone actually like put their grandma's ashes on the oval.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, and that's popped up a lot on my news feed coming from like Instagram stories and that since Ash read it out. So I don't know if they picked up on the algorithm after they heard Ash say it, or
yeah, I've definitely put it into your algorithm for you. By the way, my story, but
yeah. It was too.
I definitely regret saying
misappropriation.
I think why I remembered Ash like making it was because was it on the Swans? Was it the Sydney Swans?
Yeah, it was a buddy match.
Yeah, they're wearing wearing a white and red. For some reason, I associate that with Ash. I got no idea why I associated those colours with Ash. Maybe because he played for the Saints here in Millicent at one stage. I got no idea, but
yeah, and
something
he's
connected me there.
Fan.
And he's so something connected there. So sorry, Dan. I apologise.
I forgive you this time.
Oh, thank God.
I really regret quite heavily having said, I definitely would have seen something on the social medias, or if that was true and it was dead true, and now I see it everywhere.
Yeah, same. Yeah. You can't avoid
was
it.
Listening.
He definitely was. He's like, you know what? Here, just throw that in your face.
There's a lot of people on TikTok like duetting it, being like, surely someone's just got grandma clogged up in their shoes as they're walking over it. Yeah, but I don't know. Hopefully, grandma's happy out there. So on the pitch.
There's nothing that grandma loved more than being stomped on by a whole team of football players.
Yeah, grandma's just really loving being clogged up in Isaac Heaney's boots right now.
Well, if she's a big fan, she might appreciate it. Hopefully. So after sort of your big win, Dan, for your footy team, you went and celebrated. What did you get up to? Where'd you go? Hey, tell us the interesting goss from the night.
Ended up on the nightclub strip in Adelaide. I flashed back to being a 21-year-old for the night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. A little bit worse for wear the next morning, and then backed up to the women's match, which the Crows also won.
A double header and both win.
Did you even go home, or did you just stay up all night and go back to Adelaide Oval?
Would have been easier for me to just sleep under the fig trees, but
yeah.
And then backed up again Saturday night with a DZ Death Race gig. So,
spicy.
Let's just say I'm not going to be drinking beers tonight. I'm on the waters.
On the H2, oh no, what have I done?
Yep.
Well, I'm glad, Dan. I'm glad you had a good weekend. Tom, what about yourself? What have you been up to?
Well, I had a pretty solid schedule here in isolation of Kirby's Forgotten Land and this,
sweet,
that, the other.
Yep, very nice.
Yeah. Picked up Mario Odyssey again. I've been going back through that, trying to, get all the moons. But other than that, I've been doing absolutely nothing. It was so nice to be able to get out today and go see some people and play some tennis. Yeah, it's been good. It's been very chill.
Yeah,
I've been slowly.
On the topic of Mario Odyssey, there's a bloke on YouTube. There's the skipping rope minigame.
Yes.
A bloke wrote a script to get 9,999 on the skipping minigame.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
And
I need it.
There's a surprisingly competitive scene about the minigames in Odyssey. Because he's also made a video about trying to optimize the volleyball minigame in Odyssey.
Ooh, that is spicy. I tried to do that for the first time the other day. I'm not good at it.
I was awful at the skipping rope one. I'm like, I don't even know if I got the final moon from the maximum amount of skips you need to do. I can't remember. It's been like 4 years since I probably played that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I did just enough to get the moons, and then was just like, nah, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm out.
I'm out of here. So did you go back to it because you've been playing Kirby and it's like a similar idea of sucking up enemies and taking their abilities? Is that why you went back to Odyssey?
I don't know why. I hadn't turned my Switch on for a decent amount of time, and I was like, you know what? Isolation, let's dust it off. And I had heard that there's the new Mario Kart tracks as well. So I think that's all three things kind of pulled me back in, and I was like, yeah, all right, let's see what I was up to, see what I was doing. Turns out I had done very, very little on that game.
You had one
I'm
moon.
glad that I went back. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, did you finish it initially? Did you finish it
No.
at all? No.
No.
Oh, when you get to the end and you get to the final world, let me know what you think.
Yeah, okay.
That's the bit what blew me away. But
yeah.
no spoilers. No spoilers here.
I'll check back. I imagine it's a wedding of some sort.
Don't know. I'm not gonna say anything.
Old tight lip Agnew, they call him.
Yeah, Twilight. Fucking hell. That's what.
Bloody hard to get a furphy out of this guy.
Yeah, that's right. He's not even going to speak.
That's what my lovers say. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know. I guess speaking of lovers, Chantel and I celebrated our first wedding anniversary this weekend, which was a lot of fun.
Congratulations!
Yeah, thank you. So we went down and went to our favourite steak place, the Barn, which is really nice. And we hadn't been there for a while because of COVID and all that. So it's been nice to get out the house, and it was our first night away from our son as well. Dropped him off
that's a big one.
Yeah, at the grandparents' place, and he was very well behaved, which was very nice.
Why can't he just do that at home?
Yeah, well, no, he's been pretty good. I hope I haven't woken him up doing this show so far, but hopefully it goes all right. Yeah,
Mum's got this on lock, so it'll be fine.
Hopefully.
What else is news? You got anything else crazy coming up, or?
Not really. Got an Adelaide trip coming up, so we're gonna Lucas is gonna meet a lot of Chantel's family and friends up in the Big Smoke, including Dan. Which
looking forward to meeting the little lad.
If he's not getting drunk and going to the footy games.
Given myself COVID.
Yeah, if you haven't, well, that too.
All those tongue kissing strangers, I tell you.
Oof, they're tricky.
Just licking the acidic acid out of the bottom of their stomach. That's how deep you got your tongue.
He's actually trying to administer the PCR. He's got the tongue at the back of the throat and then up the nose. And he just spits in a tube.
So you know how a woodpecker's tongue wraps around their brain?
Yeah.
Mine does the same thing. Did you not know that?
I did not. That would have been a great furphy.
Woodpecker's tongue wraps around their brain so that when they're smashing their face against a tree, it's got some insulation.
Makes sense.
That's my favourite fact now. I love that.
Welcome to that's your fun fact for this episode of Furphys.
when you say, "Oh, didn't you know that?" Is that meant to be common knowledge? Is Tom meant to have known
I
that?
thought it was.
Like,
Because I swear I've seen a meme about it.
we've seen a meme, so everyone needs to know about it if there's memes based around it. Tom, you're an idiot. How do you know?
Oh, that's right. That's right. I can't dispute that fact.
I don't know if I particularly knew that either. I can't say like, oh yes, I could have recalled that fact, but it makes sense when I hear it, so I'll take it. I'll pretend I know about it.
Or am I just making it up and it sounds plausible?
I just got
Is it a Furphy? We started the games early, this app.
I just got the mental image of his brain being like, you know, those big bundles of rubber bands that you see? Like there's just rubber band after rubber band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I envisioned his tongue to be like that around its noggin, like its brain.
That would keep it safe when it's smashing its beak against a tree, so...
That is true.
Yeah. Try and yeah. Well, Dan, if your tongue's like that, you should just try smashing your head against a tree. See if you can do it.
Yeah, it's not.
No, that hurts.
I just tried. For the audio listeners.
For the audio listeners, which is everyone, because we're not recording this in video, except for us. I guess we're visual.
opposed to-
We're visual listeners. I can see you. You can see me.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to the Furphys, boys. Let's try and crack some bad boys. So who wants to go first? Who's got some tales to tell?
You know what? I didn't get to contribute last week, so I'm around to go.
Go for it, my friend. Let's see what you
Right.
got.
Because I know that Drew's a bit of a techie gadget kind of guy. I thought I'd go like a gadget type deal this week.
Okay, you're trying to fucking trick old Drew Boo here.
Yes. Now, just
And Dan.
keep in mind that it was April Fool's the other day.
Ooh,
Right? That's all I'm
It
going to
was
say.
April Fool's the other day.
it was.
You might have seen some conflicting information.
It's my
You
dad's
might not have.
birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Daddy Agnew.
Happy birthday, Bill.
Bill.
Big bad Bill.
Oh, God, he's big and he's bad and he's Bill.
All right. Story number 1. Dyson launches headphones face mask hybrid. Dyson has set the internet alight with the first look at the Dyson Zone, a pair of over-the-ear headphones that also include a mechanical mask designed to purify the air. The detachable ear-to-ear visor leaves a pocket of air in front of the mouth, which it constantly cleans of pollen, bacteria, dust, as well as gas pollutants such as sulfur or nitrogen dioxide. It's made possible by a motor, compressor fan, and air purifying dual layer filter, all concealed in each ear cup. Easily rechargeable with a USB-C connectivity, the company says. Filters will need replacing every 12 months, and Dyson has built intelligence into a corresponding app that will monitor real-time pollution levels around you. That's all I've got to say for that one.
All right. Jeez. That sounds pretty cool, though. Sounds useful.
Yeah. Well, next story up is 3D printing company develops revolutionary 2D printer. Now, I know what you're thinking because I thought the same thing. Formlabs.
Haven't I already got one of those?
Exactly. That's what I thought. Formlabs is a company that brought 3D printing to homes all across the globe, and it's now shifted its focus back to standardized 2D printers. With its complex series of lasers, it says that the printer can disperse things in a high definition 4K type of print. Its CEO has said shifting their focus from 3D back to 2D, eliminating the third dimension, has made these printers all the better. That's all I've got to say about that one.
Yeah, right.
And last but not least, BMW unveils a car that changes color at the touch of a button.
Oh, that'd be sick.
BMW has unveiled a chameleon car that changes color in the latest attempt by automotive firms to combine their vehicles with cutting-edge technology. The German car firm said it was bringing the car body to life with a specifically developed body wrap for its all-electric iX SUV model, which uses the same technology as Amazon's Kindle e-reader. At the touch of a button, a driver can change the shade of the car's exterior, allowing the color to shift between black, white, or even light and dark stripes by activating electronic ink in the word printing company set to something. I can't read the last word. Well, I imagine it's something German.
Okay.
And that is all I have.
Interesting.
Interesting, yeah.
Can he not read a word he wrote? Interesting.
Well, did I write it or did I copy and paste it? Is it a real story? Is it fake?
That's what we're here to do, Tom. We're here to decipher your stories.
Double bluffing.
Yeah.
Am I doing the double bluff? Did I make a story sound really bad on purpose? Did I bullshit the bullshitters?
We will find out on the next episode of Crackin Furphys.
Dragon Ball Z.
Welcome back to Crackin Furphys. All right. Dan, let's try to decipher what's going on here. So I don't follow Dyson news updates necessarily, so I got no idea about this one.
But I do know Dyson tend to make those hyper futuristic appliances, so
yeah. So it sounds doable.
Could be plausible.
Like look, this could be one of those stories. This could be a Daniel Tredrea story as well. It might not be like a mask. It might be a hat or something. You know, it's
an air purifying hat.
It's actually
that'd be
a walking stick.
Imagine like an Akubra and it's just like air conditioned just blowing straight into your face. That'd be pretty good.
Well, like with those corks hanging off as well to like
little fans,
scare away flies and like blowing cool, refreshing air into your face as well.
Dyson Australia, make it happen.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Make it happen, or otherwise it will be my my copyright. So
exactly.
Act on it quick.
You patent it.
Yeah. Story.
I'm gonna say story number 3 is real, just because I think that sounds very plausible.
I feel like I heard something about that as well, but I've got no idea.
I know that the NBA uses has trialed a similar technology to be able to like change the players' numbers on the back of their jerseys in real time. So I can very much see that similar technology being used especially for a new electric car.
I think Batman's been using that technology for a while too.
A chameleon car. But
yeah. So like, yeah, story number 2 gets me because it sounds ridiculous. But it makes complete sense. If you're a company making expensive 3D printers, you're like, hey, let's make something a bit more commercial, a bit more mainstream. You know, just making 2D printers and improving the technology in that makes a lot of sense. Like just commercially. But I know sort of nothing. Well, what was the company that makes this 3D printer and is making the brand new 2D one? If you can remind us,
they're called
Tom?
Form Labs.
Form Labs. All right.
So
Form Labs.
I think one of my mates in the Mount actually has a Form Labs 3D printer, and he uses it to print all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So that could be where he's got the idea to write a Furphy about.
See, if he did a story which is like a company makes a 2D printer that actually works every time, connects on Wi-Fi flawlessly, I'll be like, that's a Furphy. I fucking hate printers. Like printers suck. I don't mind
Doesn't ever run out of ink.
Oh, yeah, well, that'd be good too. But just like they never work. They're always so complicated and they don't have to be. It's just like just connect to the Wi-Fi and send your file to the printer and print it. For fuck's sakes. It never seems to work.
Yeah.
Don't know. I might go. Sorry, Tom.
No, I was just going to say my printer actually runs off the same cord that I use to input my microphone to my computer. So every Sunday I have to go out to the printer and take it out of the printer to put it back in my DI box.
Really?
We're very high tech here.
That is actually amazing. Yeah, because I remember my Blue Snowball has that similar connection that goes into it. Actually, yours, I don't know, yours might too, Dan. The Audio Technica microphone. I think it does actually. Don't unplug it to look at it.
All right, hang on, let me just unplug. I'll just check.
It'll only take us 4 months to put it back on. It's fine.
All right, I reckon I'm going story number 2. Tom has a nice array of Furphys here. Yeah, and don't know, the double bluff might have bluffed Drew, but we'll find out. Dan, what are you going?
Oh, I'm going to join you and pick
Ooh.
number 2 as well.
All right. Triple bluff.
Eliminated the third dimension.
Well, I'm really sorry to tell you guys that you're exactly right.
Oh,
You
that's
got
a
it in
nice
one.
crack. We cracked it, Dan. Fucking
I
delicious.
literally had one line written down for that because I was trying to type it. And then when we started, I was like, oh, I got nothing.
I did the exact same thing. It's just like, look, I'll get it written. Then like we pop up online. It's like, I don't know. We'll roll
that's
with
why
what
you
I've
go
got.
last and just combine everyone else's Furphys.
Yeah, and look how that worked for me. I got a laugh out of everyone though. I got a laugh out of everyone. All right, I'll go next, Dan. I'm not even giving you the opportunity. I'm a selfish bastard.
Just
Pulling
see it,
rank.
This is a man who knows what he wants and he's just taking it.
I know what I want. So the theme for my stories this week are local related, Mount Gambier related to
Oh, damn.
our small little sleepy town down here in South Australia. So first story, actually, I say that, maybe not just Mount Gambier. The first one is a different town.
Yeah,
Close
the
enough.
first story is actually Malel.
It's actually LA in
It's
America.
close by. Real
Yeah,
local.
Yeah, that's local. I've been there no time. So the first story is drink driver crashes into Robe Hotel. The second story is bad crack blamed for bin blazers. And story number 3 is messy night at Amy Shark concert.
Well, Dan,
I'm
please
definitely
take
gonna have to
all
hear
your
more about story
speculation
number 2.
because I know which one it is.
I thought, look, being local, I thought you might. All right, so
I think I have a hunch which one it is as well, but I'd like to hear more.
Well, I don't know that you do.
So, drink driver crashes in the Robe Hotel. A drink driver has lost his license for 6 months after crashing into the Robe Hotel in early hours of yesterday morning. Police were called at the scene at 2:20 after a car failed to navigate a corner and crashed into the pole supporting the front veranda of the hotel, causing damage to both the car and the veranda. The driver, a 26-year-old man from Robe, recorded a blood alcohol reading of 0.146, nearly 3 times the legal limit. He was reported for aggravated driving without due care and drink driving. He was issued a 6-month immediate loss of licence and will appear at court at a later date. Story number 2, bad crack blamed for bin blazers. A Mount Gambier woman has blamed a bad batch of drugs on her behaviour after she set 2 bins alight last week. Fiona Jo Taylor, 53, will spend a month behind bars after admitting to the offending, which included a charge of assault on a neighbour from earlier last year. Taylor said the drugs led her to hear voices. Quote, "It's supposed to be ice, but I did do a test and it was LSD. It's supposed to just be crack," she said. End quote. Taylor's sentences were backdated to March 22nd. She will be released on a 12-month good behaviour bond after 1 month. And story number 3, messy night at Amy Shark concert. A Millicent man had a big night during Amy Shark's performance at the Sir Robert Helpman Theatre last weekend after getting a sore stomach and vomiting on 2 security guards working the event. Neil Bellinger, 48, had dinner at Mount Gambier's OK Pie shop before attending the show. Neil said he loves the Mount Gambier's iconic pies, but doesn't get much opportunity to get his hands on them. Quote, "I only travelled to Mount Gambier on rare occasions, so I ate more than my stomach could handle," end quote. Luckily, after a compulsory drug and alcohol test and a change of clothes from the venue staff, Neil and the security team were able to see the rest of the show. So they're my stories, boys. What do we think?
I like it.
So what are you, so we'll go through some of the, what your thoughts on each story are before you actually come to your big conclusion here. So it's funny because I heard about the crash into the Robe Hotel, and one of the boys I work with, apparently It's not said in the actual article here, but my mate, he got a Snapchat from someone, and apparently this could be a furphy from a friend of mine. This could be complete bullshit. But apparently this 26-year-old was the manager of the Rope Hotel who crashed into it. So could you imagine like managing a place and like doing that to it? So
just rocking up to work.
Yeah. So allegedly, my source is a bit of a pothead himself. So I don't know how seriously you want to take that. But look, that's a funny story. So adding that in there's funny enough as it is. So
I feel like we need to give some people some context as well about Mount Gambier. Mount Gambier is a beautiful, stunning, picturesque place, but it also has a dark, seedy underbelly. And it is
the ice capital of Australia.
That's right. It is just...
Is it still?
Two different worlds. I think so. I don't think much has changed. We might be down a few bins since the last poll. But, yes, it's pretty bad here still.
Yeah.
So, what do we...
Fortunately, that does make story number 2... kind of believable. And story number 3 just reminds me I haven't been to the OK Pie shop in a very long time.
Along these lines, our new SA Premier, I can't pronounce his name, but he's very charming. That's the man. He has a thing for the OK Pie shop sausage rolls. He said that they were the best in the universe. Apparently, I saw a write-up about it the other day, and he's challenging people to find a better sausage roll and send it to him.
Just send him a sausage roll in the mail.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll get through customs.
Speaking of Peter Malinowskis, after the showdown on Friday night, there's a man amongst the people crossing the footbridge with his port scarf on in a huge crowd.
Oh, he's a port supporter?
Could have easily waited out the crowd and hidden his port supporting shame, but he went out there and mingled amongst his people.
Oh, he's a port supporter.
Constituents. And he was definitely copying it from more than a few people just for the fact he was wearing a port scarf.
So he should.
If I was there, I'd probably be wearing a port scarf, so I would have probably burnt it when it's still around my neck. All right.
No, but I have heard there was a few things going on at the Amy Shark show. So, yeah, I didn't see that particular story, but I did hear there was a few different kerfuffles.
A few different messy nights.
Yeah, it's fairly standard for Mount Gambier.
Yeah, like it is pretty tame, really.
I mean, I can't imagine Amy Shark having the kind of music to have a messy night too. She's just Taylor Swift in jeans and a hoodie. Who's having a rager to that?
Australia Swift.
I'll pay that. Well done.
I won't.
No, I won't.
I felt bad as soon as it came out of my mouth.
It was better than my tennis quip earlier, so...
No, that was good. It took me too long to get it, but it was good.
So, boys, what do you reckon? What are you going to put your votes in for?
I'm going to lock in number 2.
I'm going to lock in number 3.
That crack goes to Tom. Well done, Tom. Well done.
I threw him off.
Oh, you did it on purpose. You fucking dog. Yeah,
I don't think the Amy Shark thing's even been yet.
Because when you said, "Oh, look, a lot of shit," when you said a lot of
she's
stuff
definitely
went down
toured
at the
through
Amy
Gambier before.
Yeah, well,
that's what, because I thought it was from like the 2019 tours, because I know she's played in Mount Gambier before.
Yeah, Amy Shark, she's coming to Mount Gambier on Sunday, the 31st of July. So when I saw that, I'm like, oh yeah, so I'll make a story about that. But when Tom said, oh look, a lot of stuff went down, I thought he was just like, oh, do I have him? Do I potentially have him here? I'm not sure. He just did it to be a fuckwit to Dan. That's hilarious.
God damn it, Tom.
Oh, that's amazing.
There can only be one, unless it's guessing my stories, and then everyone's a winner.
Woo! That's a lot. So yeah, I got all these stories from the Limestone Coast Community Facebook page, which I assume Tom has probably liked and seen. So I'm like, oh well.
I'm not sure if I saw it from that, but I think there would have been 100 people that reposted the bad crack
Oh yeah,
story. It was hilarious.
yeah. Well,
Just
that's
pictures of melted bins and just nonsensical ramblings by a lady.
I'm actually a little surprised that hasn't made its way up to Adelaide. So
We can make that happen.
We can make that happen. We can send you up some ice, Dan. You can give it to your neighbours, and it will just sort of spread from there.
Just distribute it, and then you can have your own burning bins. It's fine.
Yeah, just what you need. Just melting plastic in your driveway. But like,
You've heard of Burning Man, now you have burning bins.
that is like one of the best quotes I've probably ever heard. It was supposed to be ice, but I did a test and it was just LSD. It's supposed just to be crack. I feel.
Oh, you stay
sorry.
classy, Mac Gambia.
Stay classy indeed.
Well, we're not going to help. We're not going to help the classiness.
Nah, drag it down.
Dan, you got to come and do something, man. You got to come
it
back.
out.
Shove the place up.
Yeah, just maybe just give a man a suit. Just donate a couple of suits from your wardrobe or something. Help us
Here you go,
out.
sir. Have a suit. I'm leaving now. Bye.
It's like too small.
You haven't met me, but would you like a suit?
I like to think like you just give it to the person you give it to is a kid. The kid's just got this like suit that's like twice as big on him.
Well, you know how you're coming up to Adelaide this weekend. I'm just gonna have a little tiny suit tailor made for Lucas.
That'd be cool. I mean, if you're gonna go to that much effort, that'd be cool. You've
Get him a little 3-piece tuxedo.
Worth it.
You've already been really kind and given us heaps of clothes for Lucas, though. So if you don't have to,
So now I'm just gonna top the lot.
yeah, because he got a little custom print of Chantel's Freaky Fit logo from her gym on it, and he's it still hasn't rocked up yet, Dan, but he got one of the House of Mario logo on it as well.
Damn, that's
Have
cool.
a suss of
Yeah.
where that actually is.
Yeah, it hasn't rocked
Last
up.
I checked, it was in the country. So
This is the Furphy. He didn't actually buy them.
It's a long setup.
it's meant to be coming from St. Louis, I believe.
St. Louis. Yeah, right. St.
St.
Louis.
Louis, Missouri.
That's in a different
If
country.
you say it quick enough, it could be misery.
Maybe it'll arrive and Lucas will be too big to actually wear it.
Yeah, he's like 25. He's like, I can't fit this anymore. He just puts his arm in it.
25 and still living it.
Just wears them as gloves.
The tracking site is loading. Attention.
Tension is building.
It has still arrived in the destination country on March 19th.
I'll have a good mid-potty post-check. It's good.
Mid-body post check. When's my fucking...
It shipped March 4th, so
When's my
might
new
have to check in on that
bloody
soon. But
headphones
anyway,
meant to rock up? I got a new bathing suit for my grandma, which is meant to be coming in soon. I'm sick of her going to the swimming hole naked. It's really embarrassing. I really want to.
When's me bloody Manscaped razor coming in?
bloody hell?
Crackin'
Got some.
Furphys are now brought to you by Manscaped.
It might be one day.
Please give us free stuff.
Just like a little hat. Little hat that's too small for our heads, but we just have to place it on top really gently. Like, oh, look at us. We're sponsored by our favourite shaving company.
Brought to you by Squarespace.
Your Squarespace. I love shaving with my Squarespace. All right, Dan, give us your furfies,
Time
mate.
for some furfs. All right. Story number 1. Tokyo teenager becomes the youngest doctor in Japanese history.
Impossible.
Story number 2. Gold Coast 9-year-old accepted to study physics at university. And story number 3. UK teenager on solo cycle trip around the world has bike stolen.
So I know the theme of
Now,
your
what do you-
stories. People from places.
People doing things.
My theme is annoying ass prodigies.
Okay.
Yeah.
First thoughts, lads?
You have to be a special type of person to steal someone's bike if they're riding around the world. Granted, you probably don't know that they're riding around wherever, but that's pretty
And that makes
dirty.
it okay.
No, I mean it doesn't, but it's just that's
Yeah,
low,
it's
man.
It's no good.
I'm going to start reading story number 1.
Yeah, just with number one. It's like,
Tachikawa teenager Fumiki Ichijoji, 15 years old,
Ooh.
has shattered the record books in the past week when he clocked on for his first shift at Tachikawa Sogo Hospital. Dr. Ichijoji graduated from high school at the age of 11 years old and raced through medical school to graduate in the top 15% of his class at only 14 years old and 163 days. He was offered employment straight out of university, but he decided to take some time off before starting his medical life to be a teenager for a little bit.
Jesus.
I am very proud of my achievements, but all I want to do is help as many people as I can, said Dr. Ichijoji. The prodigy is also said to be an excellent football player, though he does not have time to play often with his new career. His parents, Ken and Hanako, pictured out the front of Tachikawa Sogo with their doctor son, have said that their son was always a bright and inquisitive child, and they are not surprised that success has found him so early on. Fumiki was always interested in how things work and how to put things back together. We are just so proud of him, said Ken. I am sure that with his desire to learn and want to help everyone, he will make a fantastic doctor, said Mother Hanako. Dr. Ichijoji is specializing in orthopedics and hopes to work towards improving care of degenerative skeletal conditions over his medical career.
That is a beautiful story. Like, when I was 15, what were you boys doing when you were 15? Like,
Oh,
I could probably,
Being a little shit.
yeah, I was
I was
probably barely
learning
read.
from Dan's learning Dan's dad bloody woodwork.
Oh, yeah. Big old Danny's dad. So this is how you put a nail in the wood there, Tom, and you put the varnish on the wood.
This is how you use a saw.
Yeah.
Big old grain-looking bastard. Just run your sandpaper down that way.
Well, go with the grain, not against
this
the
big
grain.
bastard here's a kiln.
Get out of the
I may get in the kiln.
What do you reckon? Like his 10th birthday, his parents got him operation, and then it just stemmed from there, or what?
Yes, we had 5 years to like, you know what, this is the thing I want to do. Then bam, fully qualified doctor. Boom.
I could be barking up the wrong tree here already, but I do not think that they would allow him to do it without the proper medical training. I could be reading into it too much, but doctors, nurses, all that kind of thing, they need to go on placement for, X amount of years.
Definitely.
I do not see someone being like, and personally, I don't think I would feel comfortable being like 14-year-old doctor. Hell yeah, come in. Sign me up, What's wrong with me, bro?
Could you imagine they need like a heart? Like, obviously, this particular doctor isn't in charge of heart transplants and that, but it's like something serious like that. Then like this kid walks in with like this lab coat on, which is like way too big for him. Like the sleeves are like hanging off. He's like, "What can I do for you today?" I was like, "Oh my god!"
He's like chewing on like a gummy snake as well. Like,
You've got cancer.
That's no good, Dan.
Lucky he's
But
only
anyway,
an
moving
orthopedic
on.
surgeon. That's fine.
Story number 2. For 9-year-old physics genius Allegra Clark, the sky is not the limit. She has her sights set on space. And after being accepted into a university physics course, the Gold Coast primary school student is one step closer to her dream of being an astronaut, or an engineer, or a scientist. I'm still pretty young, so I've got a while to decide, she said. At school, Allegra studies a curriculum of students a grade ahead and participates in extension classes. She has completed maths and physics work at a senior high school level. By the end of the year, she'll be studying her first university-level physics subject online after being accepted by a university in New South Wales. According to Mother Kelly Clark, Allegra's passion for learning started at a young age by reading chapter books and encyclopedias by 4 and teaching her peers about black holes by 5.
Ooh.
She's always been bright and articulate and interested in the world around her, Miss Clark said. Eager to begin her physics studies, Allegra said she hoped to be working in the STEM field. I've loved maths and science since from 3 years old when I got a lab coat and hydraulic set given to me. I love everything. I love being challenged. I love maths, science, physics, music, playing the oboe and the saxophone, drama, and creating things.
Smart.
And I'm still pretty young, so I've got a while to decide, but I'm thinking one day I'll be an astronaut or an engineer or a mathematician or a scientist.
All right, this has got to be bullshit. No one enjoys playing the oboe. No one.
Was it Chantel's talking about the oboe? I don't even know what an oboe is. I don't.
It's kind of like a flute, but more obnoxious.
Okay, I don't know if I've ever heard of an oboe, but I don't know. I'm not educated.
Big statement from that lady. At one point, you said that she loved everything.
Does she really?
I'm
Everything's
reading.
a big statement.
That's right. I'm trying to pick holes in each of the stories.
Sounds like she needs to pick something and just run with it. Like,
Yeah.
too many choices. Too young.
Don't bite off more than you can chew.
Too much optimism. No good. 27. I've lost a lot of my optimism. It's gone. Wait till I'm 35. Oh God, optimism. Will be
Sorry,
all-time
Lucas.
How dare she still have the spark of life in her eyes?
low. Oh, it's a bit insulting to
Disgusting.
us.
Ah,
late
to be
20s.
young again.
Yeah.
And story number 3. Charlie Condell, 18, says loss of bike Colin in Townsville, Australia is sub-ideal.
Mm.
A British teenager who was trying to become the youngest person in the world to cycle solo around the planet has had his bike stolen in Australia. Charlie Condell has pedaled through Europe and Asia since embarking on an 8-month, 18,000-mile journey in July. He woke up in Townsville, Queensland on day 103, a Tuesday, to discover his bike, camping gear, passport, and other equipment had vanished. All he was left with was the shirt and shorts he stood up in and one bag. Condell, who set off on his expedition the day after leaving Clifton College in Bristol, said he was determined to find a new bike and carry on. Writing on social media, he described the loss of his bicycle, which he named Colin, in an understated way. Sub-ideal. Instead of falling into gloom, he decided to take a trip to the nearby Magnetic Island. Suitably cheered, he sent a defiant message to his supporters. Amazing day seeing wild koalas and feeding the birds of paradise. I do love Australia, and one bastard isn't going to change that option. Have a great day with whatever you're doing, and don't stop, ever. Condell has cycled through 17 countries, riding up to 125 miles per day, and flown between continents. Usually he camps wild, but on Monday night, he treated himself to a night in a hostel and a game of volleyball on the foreshore in Townsville after a tough couple of days cycling in searing heat. He estimated that at least 4,000 pounds of equipment had been stolen, but he said he still hoped to complete his trip by March and break the record. Condell's bike was a lightweight carbon fiber Cervelo. Condell is funding his trip from his savings, and he has also set up a crowdfunding page for people to support him. He has already had offers of help from people and is working out the best way to keep calm and carry on with his journey. Another British man, Tom Davies, is believed to hold the record for youngest person to cycle around the world unassisted. He was 19 when he completed his journey.
Very cool. All right.
I love the sound of this. Like, if I had my time again, I would definitely not do this. But it's something very cool. Like,
Love the spirit of adventure.
yeah.
Look, if I was 20 again, like fuck, I would be doing that. But very cool.
I can appreciate what he's doing.
Yeah, that's very very cool. But I don't know what hangs me up about this. I don't know. I know people could come into Australia, but just with COVID and that, I don't know. Would they have come over to do it at this time? I guess there's nothing stopping them really, but it's making it a bit harder.
I want so badly for the guy that stole his bike to be one of the guys that follows him on his page, and then for him to go out and say, don't stop doing what you're doing. So he's just going to follow him and steal his next bike?
Yeah. Just
Not really. I hope that he beats it and, breaks the world record and things like that. But that would just be a funny turn of events.
Don't stop what you're doing. Just steal my next bike. Just all my possessions are yours.
Never stop, never stopping.
I'm hung up between the first one, just with like sort of the lack of sort of experience needed.
Yeah.
Even if it is a very smart kid. And then there's story number 3, which hangs me up a little bit, just mainly because of like the travel restrictions. Story number 2, I'm not exactly sure there either. It's just some chick from the Gold Coast who's like, oh, I want to do lots of things. I'm very curious.
You know, I feel like oftentimes Dan gives us like 3 really outrageous stories, but these are all just like, for Dan standards, they're very monotone. They're like, all of these things are very achievable.
Yeah.
Also, on that point of travel restrictions, I think it's easier to come into Australia than it is to fuck off out of here.
Yes.
Because when I went to Queensland, there were so many international travellers, like everywhere.
Yeah.
And that was like a couple of weeks ago. But
I don't think it's an issue. I haven't obviously tried to do any traveling during these times, so I've got no idea. But it's just kind of what I was assuming. But I got no idea, Dan. You got us. Look at him stroking his beard. What a bastard. Hey?
This is payback for me fucking with him last round.
Yeah. That was so funny. Don't know. I really don't know.
I'm going to go with the one that I least suspect. Number 2.
Okay. Well, I really want to get it. Because then it's a draw between me and Dan. Like, this is coming down to the wire. So Crackin Furphy champ for, what's the date today? The 3rd of April. It comes down to my decision, or Tom's decision.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Oh God, the pressure is immense, boys.
I can see the beads of sweat dripping down your forehead as we speak.
All right, I'm gonna go to story number 1. What we got, Dan?
Drew has got the Furphy.
Oh, I should have stuck with my gut.
Cracked it. Beautiful.
But I do have a good update for you on Charlie Condell.
Okay, cool.
He has been reunited with his stolen bike in the past week after completing his ride before COVID hit.
Oh, awesome. Say how we got it back? If they got it returned or police found it? Or?
It is a different article, but he found it on the person who stole it posted it on a Townsville Buy Swap Sell Facebook page, which he had joined after his gear got stolen. He spotted it, alerted the police, and they went and took his bike back. And everything is all still in working order and good condition.
It would have been terrifying if you said it was the Mount Gambier Buy Swap and Sell, because that is a dark, horrible place.
Yeah,
I mean, Buy Swap Sell pages in general are just hives of scum and villainy, but something good has come out of one for us.
Do you have any experience of using Facebook Buy Swap and Sell to like go and buy something? Look, I bought like a couple of games and that, and I've had good experiences. I got like a really good deal on a couple of DSIs with like good games for like $100. Stoked with that. But there was one time, this is like 2016 or something. I got the Uncharted collection, which includes Uncharted 1, 2, and 3. It's like for $30 instead of $80. I'm like, oh yeah, right, yeah.
That's a banger.
So I get the address for where to go, and I pull up, and like, there's a guy. It's obviously just someone who's on drugs. Like the neighborhood and the front yard, just oh my God,
shoes in the power lines and
all that type of stuff. And I was in the car. I was in the car with
melted bins in the driveway.
I don't know. Dan, were you with me? I remember Conrad was with me.
I wasn't with you for this one.
Yeah, I remember there was a couple of people with me. And like I pull up and you know how you usually get, I go, how you going? And whatever, do the money. And it was literally just, I pulled up in the driveway. The guy comes out. We could just smell weed just reeking out of the house.
Emanating.
He walks up with a cigarette, wind down the window. He puts in the game. I give him the money, and there was nothing said, and we drive off. Like the transaction happened within like 10 seconds, and we're driving off. And I said to my mates in the car, just being like, "That was weird," and while it was smelling the game case, we're like, "Holy fuck, this smells like drugs!" Like, so I don't know if like the game was stolen or what. It seems like there's a lot of, sometimes there's like real cheap games on there, like close to release, and it just seems like they're stolen. It's like, I'm not. Yeah, so there's always some weird shit going on.
Did he actually give you the game though, or was it just like some like Uncharted 1 for PlayStation 3?
No, it was all there. It had like the Target
It was legit.
sticker on it and all that. It's just it's just really weird. It was like, usually like if I'm selling something, like someone comes in, hey, how you going? Like, yeah, no, how's the weather? Then you just have a bit of small talk and you're like, yeah, look, it's in pretty good condition. Like, yeah, have a look at it and whatever, and say, put it in the car. Yeah, good seeing you. Bye bye. But it was just like it was like it felt like a drug deal. Just getting this PlayStation game. So yeah,
That's how they do it. The less they say, the less incriminated they are. You know.
Yeah, well, don't blame him. I think he had a lot to be incriminated about. So. All right.
Selling LSD instead of crack, just stuff like that.
Yeah, what a rip-off, eh? I just wanted some good crack, apparently.
Come to think of it, my dad doesn't have the Uncharted 1 to 3 anymore, so
that was him selling it.
Yeah.
So what do we reckon we learned from today's episode, boys? Out of the stories we've brought here, what do we reckon we've learned? I reckon I've learned that
we're
you
all
just can't put...
cynical and hate.
We're just looking at Tom's...
Sorry, I just got distracted by the puppy.
Yeah, the puppy. Oh,
It's just
That we're
it's a
all
winner.
extremely cynical and hate young people being successful.
yeah, we actually kind of were, weren't we? And I've learned that you need good quality crack, otherwise you get a bit grumpy. What have you learnt, Tom?
I've learned that it's a really good idea to fully flesh out your furfies before you try and sell it to the other two.
Because
lasers and things. Yeah.
Removing the third dimension.
That Furphy came up from the Form Labs team doing an April Fool's. They had the CEO come in and he did like a YouTube video about it, and he was like, by removing the third dimension, we've really been able to focus on the first two. And like it was just A1, like it was the best ad for a 2D printer you've ever seen in your life.
All right, so your Furphy was just like a Furphy by the actual company itself.
Yeah, but I tried to change it slightly. Take ownership of their lie, if you know what I mean.
There were so many good April Fool's things going on. And what I hate about like our time zones is like once you're over April Fool's, then the States sort of get into their April Fools, and that's when I forget. I'm like, oh god damn it! Forget when the States start doing theirs.
Yeah,
but I didn't get caught too many times. There's a couple of times when I was looking, and I'm like, oh, I didn't even like take any notice of it, and a few of them were like, oh, that was an April Fool's joke. I'm like, oh well, that landed well. I just scrolled past it, didn't even care. There was like I think like Vooks, which is a Nintendo website here in Australia. They did like an April Fool's, like the Switch is getting this thing called the Stacker, which you put on underneath the dock, and you can put your physical games in and load them all in at once. And like I scrolled past it. I'm like, nah, that sounds silly. Didn't even think about April Fool's. I'm like, that's just a dumb idea.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Anything else we'd like to touch on before we lock up the doors and head on home?
Oh, just Ash, but he's not here this week, so.
Oh, what a dog, hey? Going to Melbourne.
Yeah, how dare he have a personal life?
Yeah, no, it's no good at all. It should be
There is
non-personal. I don't know.
nothing else but Crackin Furphys.
No, nothing else. Yeah. Nothing else. No. Love you, Ash. Hopefully we'll see you again another week.
Yes. Don't get the spicy cough when you're over there mingling with the Victorians.
Oh, he will. He will. He'll get the spicy cough. Just like Dan is hiding it right now. The mild cough. Oh, good. All right, boys. Well, we'll catch you next week.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Here you go, boys.
Oh, it's been too long since we've had the Furphys rap outtakes, so next week for sure.
You reckon you'll have some smooth words to put out?
I'll shoot some bars.
Look, mate, we're here right now, mate. Just give them to us.
No, I need at least a week to prepare.
All right. Dan, warm us up. Warm Tom up for next week. What you got, mate?
Oh,
Dan's all lack of words. He's got nothing for Drew. He's just sitting there wiping the sweat off his hairy beard. Hey, don't you try and rap over my rap. That's just disrespectful. That's enough.
That's a diss track.
got a 9-year-old studying physics. New.
Ugh.
He plays the oboe and the saxophone.
How dare she play oboe? That was a red herring.
Crackin Furphys is lovingly crafted and recorded in the southeast of South Australia. The show is produced and hosted by me, Drew Agnew, and my co-hosts are Ash Wallace, Daniel Tredray, and Thomas McRobert. If you enjoy my work here as well as on my other podcasts, The House of Mario, Encore at The House of Mario, and A Drew Story, help spread the word by sharing us with a mate or leaving a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. If you would like to show further support and help me achieve my goal of freeing up one working day a week to spend more time refining and creating podcasts, please consider checking out patreon.com/idruby, where for only $1 you get access to my secret recordings where I share everything behind the scenes. A big thank you to the legend Deejaayy for supporting the content at the podcast producer level on Patreon. From the bottom of my heart, thank you.